at UNE in Maine. This is wrapping up my first year as the offensive line coach. I spent the previous 3 years coaching tight ends and fullbacks. Prior to that, I played offensive line here. So 4th year on staff at UNE, 8th year total at UNE. It's in Maine. So it's cool for me to be able to present from the FCA today. We're going to talk about varying up the run game, play action protections. First, we're going to talk a little bit more about Maine. This is how we have the state broken up as far as recruiting is concerned. Mike Lincoln, our head coach, recruits York County. Our offensive coordinator, Tim Vile, takes Cumberland County. Defensive coordinator, Kenny Kushida, has the remaining 14 counties in the state. Any 2025 or younger players that have any interest in not only UNE, college football in general, we'd love to have them up at our place, whether it's for a spring practice, a tour, a visit in the summer, camp, one of our 4 home games this fall. Our doors are open. Please get in touch with these guys. We've created alumni spotlights on all of our recent grads, and we pulled about a dozen of our Mainers and wanted to show them off at this clinic. Starting off with a guy who should be here today, who's tied up with his day job. Dakota Joy, he's a Maine high school football coach. He's a great player for us, started every game at left tackle during his time at UNE. Now he's teaching down in Kennebunk, spent a year coaching with us, and now he's coaching at Falmouth High School for his last season. We also have Trevor Berry from Biddeford, went to UNE, graduated from UNE, stuck around and coached right away. He currently coaches our tight ends and fullbacks, also has a roll down with us in the weight room, training our team as well as a couple of others, and there's some private strength and conditioning facility as well. Staying in Biddeford, we have Joey Carey, great player for us, defensive back, great student, all academic team. He was an exercise science guy, got a graduate degree in exercise and sports science from Merrimack College. Now works in sports performance at SMHC and also helps out coach our team in the weight room. Barry, another Mainer in coaching, played DP for us. He's from Wells. Good student, graduated with a business degree. Got right into coaching at WPI, and is now currently at GA at St. Lawrence University coaching defensive backs. Keaton Sid Lees, one of our most accomplished alums from Deering. You can tell that just by the sheer volume of text here. Really good player, really good student, really good person. He got a business degree with a focus in international business, and is currently in San Francisco, wrapping up his graduate degree in that. His freshman year, he was the defensive rookie of the year in our conference, which was our first season of varsity football back in 2018. Very good player for us. Cam Crocker from Booth Bay, defensive lineman, played 5 years for us, made the all-academic team 4 of those 5 years, has an exercise science degree, went right from his UNE undergrad into our doctorate in physical therapy program. He'll graduate next spring and become Dr. Croc. Connor Sorois, very similar pathway, quarterback from Bonnie Eagle, another exercise science kid, another very good student, went straight into our doctorate in physical therapy program, and he graduates with Croc next spring. Chase Lamontagne from Kennebunk, outside linebacker, another brainiac, exercise science major, went straight into PT school. He's a year behind the other guys, he'll graduate in the spring of 26. Joseph Berger, one of the most interesting people I've ever met. He's from Oceanside, played tight end and D-line for us. Really smart, exercise science kid, 5-time Dean's List student. I believe he graduated with a 3.97 GPA. Got into our DPT program and chose to defer and then decline to enroll in it, as he is now living a dream as a professional guitarist in his band, the Metrics. They're based out of Westbrook. They tour up and down the East Coast in this retrofitted purple and black school bus. It's pretty cool. He's living a dream. Benny Howell. Benny Howell is one of our earliest alums. He was a senior when we started football, so we only got him for 1 year. He's also on our men's basketball team. Med bio student, is working at Central Maine Healthcare right now, coaching basketball at Houston Middle School. Great person. Nick Lakeman from John Bapst, outside linebacker, another med bio kid, multiple time all-academic team member, working at Southern Maine Healthcare and Walgreens while applying to medical school. Another very smart kid that's going to do great things. Patrick Saunders rounds it out from Kennebunk. He played inside linebacker, D-line, fullback during his time with us. He was a business major, made the Dean's List every semester, graduated and moved up to the West Coast. He's working in hospitality up near Los Angeles now. He knows always ever going to come back, which is why he's last. All right, getting into football now. This is about marrying up your run action with play action, pass protections. Starting off, we'll get into the offensive line demeanor, how techniques will carry from the run game into play action protections, and also which concepts we pair with which actions, which part of the defense we're trying to influence with each, so on and so forth. But to start, effective play action starts with identifying your top run schemes. It's an honest conversation, not what you like on paper the best, not what your favorite, but what are you good at? What are you going to run a lot of? What is play action out of your top runs? Which we'll get into this with our offense, but it's pretty much everything. Play action off just about every run scheme. It has to mirror the run game, both in terms of the techniques on the line of scrimmage and the backfield action that's occurring between the quarterbacks, running back, fullback, how guys are getting out of the backfield has to line up between your protection and your run game. You have to be very purposeful. You have to identify which part of the defense you're trying to attack, figure out how you accomplish that with your action, and then have a concept attacking that part of the field that you influence with your action. And finally, the depth of your routes, the length, and the mesh has to align with the way the protection is built. It's a beefed up set of protection off split zone. The full zone protection is pretty solid. We're all getting 3 routes out. We can sit back there, hold the ball, feel pretty good about it. Whereas if it's off of a power read, it's a 5-man protection with a pull and a guard. But that's not built to last forever, so there has to be an option to get the ball out relatively quick. Once you figure out what you're going to accomplish, you get into game plan. What starts with film study. Once you can identify how a certain defense is going to fit your top runs from certain personnel and formations with any consistency, then you're able to figure out how to attack. So, for instance, if you figure out that 11 personnel split zone gets handled with an overhang spilling a split flow tight end, that gives you an opportunity to throw a sail out, something like that behind that overhang when he vacates that space. If you're playing a team that hits gap scheme by plugging inside linebackers downhill aggressively, you have an opportunity to attack the middle of the field in between the second and third level, but you need to have a route there. So your actions need to marry up with the concepts that you're pairing them with. And then every good play action concept gives you an opportunity for chunk plays and touchdowns. Chunk plays happen when you get an aggressive second level, fitting a run scheme downhill, and a conservative third level, trying to defend the end zone, play a deep ball. And when that third level gets hesitant or aggressive and starts fitting the run quickly, that's when your opportunity to score touchdowns comes into play. What you get is based on how the defense wants to fit your concept, response to your action. So every good play action concept needs to have opportunities for both touchdowns and chunk plays built into it. This is our run game. The UNE, our top 5 runs are split zone, power read, counter, wide zone. Out of those 5, we run play actions off of 4 of them. And counters certainly can be made into one at a time. So I'd like to hit on it. Very similar to power. We are running play actions off of 4 of our top 5 runs. As far as what we run with those actions, you see 2 words on here, cross and sail, pretty consistently. Those are the 2 flood concepts. We run both of those with split zone, with our gap scheme stuff, and then off of wide zone, which is a naked move for us. These routes concepts are very versatile. We can run it as a 3-man route concept, a 4-man route concept. We even run cross as a drop back, 5-man route concept. So we get plenty of reps out of these receivers running these routes all day. Our quarterbacks are throwing skinny posts and crossers consistently throughout the season. And the action we pair with it is designed to influence the defense instead of running an entirely separate concept. One rule breaker here is power read, where we have 4 different concepts paired with it. 4 verts to the field, 4 verts to the boundary, sail, smash. This is our best play action. We run it the most, which is why we have 4 concepts paired. As far as what needs to happen in the backfield, it needs to look like the run game. It starts with the length of the mesh, the quarterback eyes. If you are an under 17, the quarterback's eyes need to be in the mesh, and you need to spend some time there. You need to spend your time in any mesh. But if you are an RPO-heavy team, then your quarterback's eyes are going to move around. If you're running a lot of vertical RPOs, and you scheme the safety, if you stare down a single receiver post-snap, the consistency of the quarterback's eyes largely goes out the window and the RPO teams. But the length of time and the quality of the mesh is very important. Token fakes do not get you the desired reaction from the defense. And we show the ball early, and we take it away late in all of our play fakes. We feel that the benefits strongly outweigh the risks of showing the football, sticking that eye candy out there, trying to get defenders to bite and then taking it away late. And the final component, the running back has to sell possession of the football. That's not just going through a token fake with the quarterback and then getting into his protection and responsibility. That is getting into the same body posture, the same demeanor that he would to actually receive the football, clamping down on the imaginary football, and then most importantly, pressing his aiming point of the run scheme that this action is built on. So if we're running play action on split zone, our split zone running back's aiming point is a place I'd like in the center. After he goes through the mesh, he needs to press that aiming point before running back getting his protection responsibility. Unless that protection responsibility poses an immediate threat, nothing's more important than protection. So in that situation, our backs got to learn the fake, forget the fake, and get right into it. What's it look like up front? Offensive line has to be aggressive. They have to be run blocking. That's the point of the play action, run action. Offensive line must cross the line of scrimmage. They must have low pads. They must use the same techniques that they utilize on the run game. It's one way to make it real. And the front side needs to be lower in meter, just as a general rule, because that's generally closer to the part of the field, part of the defense that you're trying to influence and attack with the routes. The shared techniques for us are angle drive, gallop, crowder, gap seal funnel, and reach. Gallop and crowder, we use in double teams. Angle drive is just our term for down block, base block, moving a person from point A to point B. And then all offensive linemen have one or two mentalities, either setting for aggression or setting for success. Set for aggression is the default. We want hard run action, we want physicality, we want displacement at the first level. Ultimately, there are some situations where particularly tackles can become out leveraged based on the depth and width of certain defenders. So there are certain situations where tackles must set for success, which just amounts to pass a couple of those above. Every play action, protection, our offensive linemen are hard setting or slow setting. Hard setting is if your gap is full. There is, if I'm blocking my backside gap, there's a down lineman in it. I'm going to go run block that person, angle drive or gallop in. Slow set is blocking a down lineman with your body, blocking a gap or a linebacker with your eyes. And drop back protection typically it looks like this, just with a drag hand and your eyes somewhere else. In play action protection, we're actually going to put body on that down lineman and crowd into it, which is the inner portion of our double teams. We'll cover that in a second. And then again, if tackles get out leverage, they have to just pass set for success because nothing's more important than the integrity of the protection. All right, so angle drive. We purposely cut down the verbiage for this skill. I've found that it's like a monster. If you give 17 different cues, it's impossible to focus on all of them at the same time and also expect them to play fast and physicality. So we try to make it very simple. We're trying to create some sort of displacement, horizontal or vertical. It is a toe-to-heel step to your target, and after that, you run off the football with low pads and a base. If you're running off the ball with low pads and a base, and punching a defender up in front of your body, that is a good angle drive. That's how we measure. Punches near hand to near pec, far hand to the bicep shoulder, which is just a mechanism to control a down line with the gap. He starts off there, and then you run it. Knee drive and lift, finishes the block. Here's how we drill it. We often build these progressions from the ground up. So we'll start on a knee, eventually go to kneeling on a med ball, and then get to a 2-point or a 3-point stance. As you build that progression, each rep becomes a little bit twitchier, a little bit quicker, as it resembles more and more of a football-specific position. Here we're starting off on a knee, underneath the chute. This is really going to force our guys to drive their opposite leg into the ground. So to step to your right, you're just driving your left foot through the ground, which is what kneeling on that med ball forces to happen. This is a pretty good body position that I would be happy with. There's not much of a neutral zone, which is based on the setup of the drill. As far as the body position, this offensive lineman, this is what an angle drive should look like to me. Take the med ball away, go for a 3-point stance, gets a little bit faster, looks a little bit better, feel much better about it. Toe to heel step, run off the ball, punch near hand, far hand. It's that simple. Here it is in the game. Watch the right tackle is going to block gap. Pad level isn't great, but he is running off the ball. He's violent. He's punching with his hands out in front of his body. He is creating a ton of displacement on that down line. We run the ball right behind him. Here it is showing up in a play action pass protection. Same player, same game, same skill. Blocking his backside gap. Play action off the power read. It's blocked the same way on paper. Running off the ball. Again, pad level not great. He's got a base. He's punching. He took play side B gap defender and put him on the numbers on the opposite side of the field. We're not even running the ball. Yeah, this is a play action protection. You get a palms up reaction from this defender, and he realizes it's not even a run play. It's time for a personal story now. When I played offensive line at the University of New England, the last 2 years, Ed Ardias was my offensive line coach. If you guys aren't familiar with Ed, he coached football for about 40 years, had a couple of stints at base. Really good coach, really good offensive line coach. I learned a ton from him, got a ton of respect from him, a ton of respect for him, rather. And one of the things he said to me, these are his words, not mine, so I apologize in advance for sharing with you. He told me that, quote, one of the great mind fucks in pass protection is the harder you block somebody, the greater chance they will get beat. That's just simply not true. The harder you block somebody, the less of a chance there is that they're actually going to figure out that you're throwing the ball. That's what you see here. All right, the next technique, gallop. This is trying to accomplish the same thing as an angle drive. It's just much more technical. It allows offensive linemen to stay square. Some are able to generate more power this way. It's certainly easier to climb to the second level, galloping versus angle driving. You're still just trying to create any sort of displacement horizontal or vertical. This is done by lifting your inside leg, driving off your outside leg. At the snap, it's very important to be crossing the line of scrimmage on a positive angle, gaining ground so you don't just end up galloping into an adjacent offensive lineman and accomplishing nothing. When you get into the defender, you're trying to work into his IT band hip area. It's just like teaching cut blocking. Whatever you give them for a landmark, they will not hit it. So we ask them to hit the hip IT band to try and really get them into the rib cage. If we set rib cage, we would get shoulder. The goal is to knock the defender across the crowded guy's face. That's just the inner portion of the double team. That's coming up next. If you can't knock him over, he's your burden to bear. You've got to transition to angle drive and take a burden. Here it is being done at a high level. Left tackle for the Denver Broncos. Picks up his inside leg, drives off his outside leg, stays square, gets into what looks like the rib cage area, knocks this guy across the guard's face, is able to climb forward. Here it is being drilled at UNE. Picks up the inside leg, pushes off the outside leg, gets into what would be the hip rib cage area if this were a defender. Brings his hip through and creates some extension. Takes a vertical. These are tight ends at LSU, drill the same technique. It doesn't matter. This is great drill tape. They're working off the defender. It's leading on an offensive tackle as opposed to a slant. This is great if you have the guys that can do it. Picking up the inside leg, pushing off the outside leg, getting into that hip rib cage area, knocking across the tackle's face, staying square as it climbs. Here it is in a game. Left guard, Andrew Berube. It's going to gallop into a true head up, zero nose, and then climb. That's horizontal displacement. I don't know if I can get it at just the right second, but I believe there's a point where this swim man is not making contact with the ground at all. And our guard is still able to stay relatively square and then climb. This is the best galloping program history. We might not be able to top this. Here it is in play action protection. Same kid, now he's playing left tackle. Working through his backside gap. Gallops into a down lineman. Kind of tough to see. That kid is bent over, off balance, certainly not that pass rush demeanor. That's going to play action. Crowder, the inner portion of the double team. Probably saw this in the last two clips, but didn't really know what I was talking about. It's very simple. You're going to load up all your weight on your outside leg, take a Crowder step, which is just picking up, put it down with your inside foot, so then you can knee the defender in the crotch with your outside foot and punch with the top of your shoulder. The goal would be to raise up the pad level of this down lineman to create a more effective gallop or ankle drive. With the guy next to you, we can also just create vertical displacement with a really good Crowder as well. Here it is in the NFL, left guard for the Bengals. Pick it up, put it down, drive the knee and shoulder through that defender. Now he does not hang on this very long at all. The tackle does a good job taking it over. That's a really good look at the technique. Look at the right guard on the other side of the screen. Same technique. Pick it up, put it down, knee the defender in the crotch and punch with the top of the shoulder. Center knocks it across the right guard's face, so he ends up taking ownership of it. Two really good looks on that one clip. Here's us drilling it with a sled. Pick it up, put it down, knee the defender, punch with the top of the shoulder, pull the hips through, raise up the pad level of that down lineman, also creates a vertical displacement before ultimately detaching and climbing. Here it is in the game, same kid. Pick it up, put it down, knee the crotch, punch the shoulder, really solid double team there, and ultimately detach from the linebacker. Here it is showing up in play action. Start back up center, Ray Vito. Tough to see from this angle. Picks it up, puts it down, knees the crotch, shoulder through the nose who's moving, to the backside A-gap. The outer half, the play side half of Vito's body is still free. If anything were to hit that gap, you'd be able to take care of it. Still having a physical presence on the nose, using a run game technique and a play action protection. Gap attack, this is just our word for gap seal funnel, gap seal hinge, whatever you want to call it. There's two parts to it. First is denying any penetration, working flat down the line of scrimmage to meet with the center and vice any B-gap defender. Once that's been delivered to the center, then you can hinge in a little bit, not too much depth, a little bit of depth to elongate the edge for anyone who's trying to bend through the C-gap. We do not teach guys to pass set, we teach them to hinge, because we found that with excessive vertical retreat, it just opens up a late B-gap run-through window, which is closer to the point of attack than C-gap is. If it's a weak we're ready to throw a lot of RPOs off gap scheme, then we tell the tackles to set instead of gap attack, and that generally gets it done. Here's us drilling it, flat down the line of scrimmage, passing the B-gap defender to the center, hinge, no more than 1, 2 shuffles at the most. Beyond that, let them run the loop. If we want you to set, we'll tell you to set. Here it is in the game. Same kid, Andrew Barui. Placing a B-gap defender with the center. There is no C-gap threat for him to hinge to, so those two just hang out there. Here it is showing up in the protection. Backside of power read play action. Closes down the space, places a B-gap defender with the center, and then starts to set vertically to the C-gap defender. Looks exactly the same as it would in the run game. Now, whether there's scenarios where you have to set for success. First of all, there's no B-gap defender to pass off to the center here. Second of all, the C-gap defender is a really good pass rusher who has some width. So we just set the guy in this case. It's a normal man pass set, as though we were in a drop back protection. The situation dictates it. All right, the final skill we'll teach you to reach. We're trying to create horizontal displacement. This is drilled very similar to the way that ankle drive is drilled. We're trying to chop down the verbiage and let guys just play fast, physical. There is a little bit more technique involved here because we're trying to establish outside leverage. Starts off the same way with a toe to heel step towards your target, and then we say the same phrase, run off the football with low pads at a base, and then you're going to punch. If you're covered, meaning there's a defender within the framework of your body and out of alignment, then it's a pretty realistic ask for you to reach that person. Establish outside leverage, towards the take a vertical. That's done with your backside hand down the center, down the sternum of that defender. Try to stay square, drive the backside deep down his crotch, take a vertical. If you are uncovered, we're asking you to reach. There's no defender to reach. Nobody within the frame of my body. And I'm just going to run in a straight line through the next closest down alignment with a strong two-hand punch to the rib cage, with the ball trying to knock him across the face of an adjacent alignment. If you can't knock him over, it becomes your burden, your own, and it's just an angle drive to the sideline. We do not run speed sweep type plays, we run stretch and puncture type plays. So we do not want guys just opening, running around defenders, and then spinning back. This is an angle drive, a down block, a base block, whatever you want to call it. It's just happening on the outer half of the defender versus the inner half. So if we don't truly reach and capture people very often, we're perfectly fine with that, because the act of trying to do that will create a lot of horizontal displacement, which is the overall goal. Here's how we drill it. Again, very similar to ankle drive. Start on the knee and work our way into a football stance. First thing Kate's going to do here is knock his knee inside of his ankle, create a shin angle to drive off of. Drives his left leg through the ground, catches on the right leg. Once he sets that wide zone angle, he's just running off the ball. Now he's up on a medicine ball. The medicine ball raises everything up about a foot. So this is pretty close to the posture that a two-point stance is. His knee, his hip, everything is raised up. His torso is a little bit more upright. It's the same process, just a little bit quicker. Knees tucked inside the ankle. There's the shin angle to drive off the left, catch with the right, run off the ball. Here it is from a stance. I'm going to shoot. Clip starts a little bit late. Look at this guy right here. It's a pretty good rep from him. Drives off his left leg, catches with his right, works his left leg down the crotch of the defender, hand down the sternum, stays square and works to take a vertical. What is not good is the hand placement. But the back holders aren't going to do any favors in this clip. His lower body is great. Here it is showing up in a game, same kid. Left guard, he's covered. There's a defender in the framework of his body. We're truly going to reach him. Drive off the left, work the backside hand down the sternum, stay square, now press it vertical. That defender is fully covered up the whole time. You can see the number 71 throughout the entirety of the rep. This gives our back a 2 to go. Horizontal and vertical displacement. Now here it is showing up in play action. This is naked boot. When we naked boot, we tell guys, hey, just reach your gap, or a wide zone. After a couple of steps, you're going to throw your inside arm and try and capture the defender in the gap opposite where the quarterback's booting to. Jano's going to try and reach this 4-eye. Throws his inside arm, captures him in a gap opposite of where we're booting to. Same techniques show up in the run game and play action. Now we'll get into the play action concepts themselves. Start with the split inside zone. Here's the run. Against Western New England, 11 personnel split zone. All offensive linemen are going to be blocking their play side gap. Tight end's responsible for backside C gap. Back's aim points the play side leg to the center. Ball hits downhill, gets out the front door. We get a block downfield. It's a big play. Here's our play action protection offense. This is that beefed up 7-man full zone protection I talked about. When we're a little bit more comfortable running the 3-man rep concepts, hold on to the football a little bit longer because of the nature of the protection. The play side tackle is responsible for getting to the widest threat, the widest second level defender. That's the guy we identified. He's the guy who has the green light to not use run game demeanor, set for success and pass it if he feels the need to. The other 4 guys are truly just running inside zone. Tight end is responsible for the backside C gap. The back will press his aim point out of the mesh and then wind back to support the backside of the protection, because that's the more vulnerable part of the protection. The thing that concerns us the most about this is the backside C-gap defender, but if this is run well, or we're running split zone well, then that defender should be trying to box or split our tight end instead of rush the pass. These are the concepts we pair with it. Two flood concepts, cross and sail, like we talked about at the beginning. Here it is against Coast Guard. Right tackle decides to set for success, but there's really no need to. You can just run block him. Tackles generally tend to get pretty pass set happy, so you gotta keep your eye on that. The other four guys are running inside zone. Regardless of if they're crossing the line of scrimmage or not, which would be better, for the most part, there's low pads, physicality. Linebackers are stepping up to fit split zone. We read these top down from the quarterback position. So if this safety does not retreat far enough and quick enough to provide help on the screen post, we'll throw it. He hesitates, retreats slowly, screen post beats the corner, let it fly. Should have been touchdowns, so we're throwing a little bit, still 44-yard game. Watch the path of the running back. Slow through the mesh, good demeanor, like he's going to be receiving the football, presses his aiming point, and then winds to the backside of protection. Same play against volley depth. Again, tackle is pass set happy. The other four guys are good. Running inside zone, good run action for the rest of them. Man pressure. We wait for our crosser. To beat the man pressure, we run these crossing routes as stair climb routes. Watch our slot. First attack inside hip, outside hip, over the top, make a baseball turn. He's open, that's a chunk play. Back is through the mesh. Presses his aiming point downhill, forces the backside of protection, where he's needed in backside A gap. One back power. Here's the run play. Great double team on the front side. Tight end's dying a slow death. We get a good pull. Hit it downhill. Play action off it. If we block this just like power, we're identifying the backside inside linebacker. We consider the front side of the offensive line to be just an inverted slide. We're sliding to that backside linebacker by blocking our backside gap. Backside guard's going to pull through the C-gap defender on the play side, who will be softened up with the tight end, who's going to what we call jam flat. They'll start angle driving him for 2 seconds, pivot out, gives him a flat. That provides us better timing with the check down, it softens up C-gap with the puller, and it gives us even better run action. Backside tackle is going to gap attack, down to B-gap, and then set vertical. Quarterback meshes with the running back, and then half boots out to the C-gap, that's the launch point. Running back moves into the mesh, he's responsible for the +1, which is usually the right linebacker. Once again, we run cross and sail with this. Now it's a four-man concept, because we're getting the check down on the tight end after the jam flat. Here's Ohio State doing against Minnesota. All offensive linemen blocking the backside gap. Tight end handles a C-gap defender. He never releases, which he would in our scheme. Backside guard pulls for what is now frontside D-gap. Quarterback half rolls to C. Steps up. Throws a touchdown against man coverage. Here's us doing it. Offensive line's blocking his backside gap. Don't get great run action here. Tight end softens up C-gap for the puller, and then leaves out into the flat. Backside tackle provides a presence in B-gap before setting vertically. Quarterback meshes, and then half rolls to C. One more look at it. blocking their backside gap. Tight end soft to C. Floater takes it over. Half move to C. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. Power read. One of our best runs, definitely our best play action. It's just power with a simple C-gap read. The C-gap defender expands and runs up the field. The quarterback is running power downhill. If he's squeezing it and trying to spill our puller in C-gap, then the ball's going to hit the perimeter. Block just like power up front. Here we get a crazy pressure from Gallaudet. Hand is up the field. Quarterback pulls it and pipes for a 28-yard gain. Here it is against Plymouth. Same play. C-gap defender's going to squeeze it down, try and spill our puller so the ball's going to hit the edge. We take care of everybody except the corner. One of our best athletes is one-on-one with the corner in space. We're going to make a miss. That doesn't happen. It's only a 3-yard gain. It's not very exciting, so I'm showing this. The play action protects this play. We just took a 3-yard gain on power read, and that lends itself to a 30-yard gain shortly thereafter. What makes this our best play action scheme is that in every scheme, you've got the action up front with the offensive line, you've got the backfield action. Here, you're also getting perimeter blocking. Typically, if we're going to run power, 2 receiver side of the bubble, down screen, run hitches, whatever we tag them with. And if we're going to play action team, well, they're running their routes. If we were actually running power read, we would ask our slot receiver to crack the box, L-1. We would ask number 1 to pick the most dangerous between the safety and the corner. We would handle the alley with a 3rd player coming from the backfield. That is the exact same path these players take to get to their routes in play action. So we get a really aggressive second level. Second level is fitting power read. 3rd level is pedaling. There's a chunk play, 30 yards up the seam. Here's how we run the protection. Very similar to the way we run the play action off the power. The inverted slide, the backside inside linebacker we were identifying. We're pulling the play side C-gap. Instead of having a tight end soften up the play side C-gap defender, we're allowing the action to do it for us. Power read, backside tackles, and a gap attack, and then set vertically. Quarterback skates through the mesh and sets up on B-gap. The vulnerability in this protection comes from +1 and +2. In this protection I talked about at the beginning, that this is not a sit back there and pat the ball. It's not what it's built for. +2 is handled by the second back coming through the mesh. As soon as he finishes a fake, he can pick up +2 if we get any hot edge pressure. +1, the mic is technically on the quarterback. If he's coming, the ball needs to get out quickly, which we have avenues to do with the routes we run. Power read gets paired with 4 verts to the field, 4 verts to the boundary, sailing the field, and smash the boundary. They complement each other. You'll see examples of all these. Here we are against Coast Guard. Looks like power read to the boundary. Number 1's going to crack the box. Number 2's going to go block the corner. This safety seen power read enough. He's sick of it. He's fitting to run. The last play we saw an aggressive second level and conservative 3rd level. It was a chunk play. Now we're seeing an aggressive safety. It's a touchdown. Action's okay up front, could be more physical. C-gap defender's not rushing the passer, he's trying to spill our puller. Second level players are fitting power read, not defending for verticals. There's the safety. Top of the screen, same play against Southern Regina. Number 1 receiver is on a crack path until he's not. 4 defenders step up to fit power read. They all put the brakes on at the exact same time after we run past them. What if we get corner blitz? We run a lot of boundary power read. What's the answer to that? We pull it and throw it over the corner's head. second back through the mesh, takes any hot edge pressure, he puts the body on the corner, throw it in that vacated space. If you're going to run this play with the formation to the boundary, you can get a double clear out. Both of our receivers are clearing out for our tight end on the wheel. Here's Texas A&M attacking the seam versus Alabama. Here's us doing it against Rowan. He's spinning power read, he's spinning power read, he's spinning power read, we throw it over their head. Very conservative third level. Chunk play, 28-yard gain. Here's a little pop pass against Curry. Tight end's actually going to put hands on the C-gap defender here, and then slip behind the second level. Power read toss is a great compliment. Not only do you get to put the back on the other side as a tendency breaker, this is also a really good eye game. The hard shuffle and pump. Same C-gap read. This defender is not expanding quick enough. We toss it up to our back. Touchdown. Just play action off of it. Clemson doing it to Georgia Tech. Look at the effect that this action has on these two defenders. We easily could just tackle the quarterback. It's great action. Here's our offensive coordinator, Tim Lyle, presenting in the other room. He played tight end in college. He's stepping in for a drill here, showing everyone how it's done. He's going to set up to block the alley, slip him up the seam, hash +2 right on the landmark, catch the ball with 2 hands out in front of his body, score a touchdown, go to a kiss. Here's us running against Husson. There's that hard pump action. The entire second level of the defense is in a straight line, trying to change direction at the same time. And we have a seam and a crosser behind. Couldn't throw it either. Take the crosser, 16-yard gain. Skip counter for the sake of time. Here's us running wide zone. Everyone's reaching a play side gap. Ball cuts back behind everything. Here's our naked boot off. Everyone is just running wide zone. We're pointing the widest second level defender to the side of the action, not the side of the boot. The thing that's really important here is +2, usually the field overhang, or whoever's becoming the T-gap defender is going to be on the quarterback. We run sail across with this like we do with everything. Here's Ohio State doing it against Penn State. Everyone's fitting wide zone, get the tight end up in front, flip it to him, big gain. Here's what it looks like for the quarterback to handle the D-gap defender. Just drop the ball over his head. Here's us doing it against Husson. Everyone's just running wide zone, capturing people opposite the quarterback's boot. Tight end is over 2 defenders. Over the top, buys the quarterback more time versus slipping behind these defenders. Quarterback still has to handle D-gap on his own. Flips out to the tight end. Make sure the quarterback's getting plenty of depth out of the mesh, suck up the whole second level. Here's us running split zone. All those things are happening. We're one block away at the backside for Peter to go for play. Here's the play action off of it. Run split zone. Show the ball early. Eyes and time in the mesh. Now we'll run to center. Take it away late. Not a great fake by the running back. This is our cross concept. Safety hesitates. Doesn't retreat vertically quick enough. You beat the corner on the skinny post and let it fly. Ball's underthrown, turns into a compete ball, which will win. Play. That's the touchdown option. Could we have taken the chunk play option on this play? We didn't like the skinny post for whatever reason. Absolutely. All right, that's all I got. If anyone is interested in watching the spring practice, sitting in on meetings, if anyone wants to bring their kids down 2025 and younger, we'd be more than happy to have you guys take one of our 16 spring practices. For the most part, we are here to the following schedule: Monday morning, Wednesday afternoon.